mucho grandes, muy grandes.
Hello, mijo? Are you there? What are you doing? Are you being good? Javier? Are you there? Javier.
No quiero decir no, estaba viendo una mujer que tenía unos pelones así grandes. Es todo, pero...
What is up, my Remelia fans of the Los Angeles Rams, the defending NFC West Rams? Thank you for joining me. Sorry I'm late. I had a guy that was going to look at one of my cars I have listed for sale, and it went a little long. And so anyway, but it's okay. He was going to come at 4, then he had air conditioning problems, and then it got later, and then I'm okay, cool. So we're gonna revisit it again tomorrow in the afternoon sometime. So that's fine. But I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Not a whole lot of information going on, but we do have some stuff to talk about. One of the topics is Jared Verse. Is Jared Verse the face of the Rams now? Is Jared Verse? I know Puka is one of the candidates. He's one of the faces of the Rams. But is Jared Verse slowly? He won the D-Roy Award. It's only his second year. He's got to keep it up. But is he now? When you think of the Rams, I kind of still think of Stafford and McVay first, and then Puka. But whenever you would think of the Rams, you would think of Aaron Donald. In your opinion in the chat, who is the face of the Rams? There's no wrong answers there. It's just we're all Ram fans. Let me know about that. We'll look back into that. That's just one of the topics. And the other thing too is are you guys comfortable with our roster right now with no Jalen Ramsey? Our offensive line has depth, a really good depth if Alaric Jackson is able to play, which I assume he's going to play. I think they're going to manage it. Even if he doesn't play in the early beginning of the season, first couple games, just to give him another month and a half or so, 2 months to be on the treatment. We'll see how he comes along. But I do think that he's going to be there for the run of the season and get it under control. It's a scary situation as a human being first, and as a man, and for his family. But and then sports, of course, always comes second to that. But as far as Ram fans and our team, and we just invested in him to watch Matthew Stafford's backside. Hopefully, he won't miss much time at all. But I am comfortable with the guys that we have. DJ Humphries is going to be his backup, and we have good depth along the offensive line. We brought back Shelton to be the center, a veteran presence. Bo Lemmer's going to be fine. He's a rookie. Would have loved to have a Shelton for that playoff game against Jalen Carter. All we needed is a couple. All we needed was a second and a half. Stafford would have saw the receiver breaking open. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Cup or Puka breaking over the middle, and the Rams are probably Super Bowl bound if we would have beat the Washington team in the NFC Championship game. But that is what it is, man. When these Rams are in the playoffs and you have Matthew Stafford at the helm, and you have a running game and offensive line that can protect them, and you have Sean McVay calling the plays, and you have a stout pass rush and defense, and we can run the ball. We're very dangerous, and we can beat anybody. So looking forward to that. But yeah, so again, is Jared Verse the face of the team now? What do you guys think about that? Is he the face of the team? Do you guys foresee any distractions? They had the Puka Nakua story with his girlfriend, seeing if he's the having the procedure done to show that he's the father of her kid, and then TMZ reported on it that allegedly that she only wants him to have visitation, and what do you guys think about that now? We can throw that in there as well. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It's just a young couple. Whenever you're a polarizing celebrity / sports star in Los Angeles, you're under the microscope, and these are things that if you played in the Jacksonville Jaguars, it wouldn't be one of the front page news. But I think they'll work it out. He's a good guy, and they were a great couple. They are a great couple up to now, and I think they'll be fine. But also too, he's a big boy. He's a grown man, and those are his affairs, and I think he'll be fine. But anyway, let's get into the chat, and then we'll start the show going. Listen, my guy, OG Willie Bowen. Hey, Rudy and Ramelia. Blake Corum should get us a lot of rushing yardage and red zone scoring opportunities this season. I believe it as well. We need to do that. My guy, Danny Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, brother? The other thing, too, that I didn't mention on the monologue is in the chat, who do you guys think? We know that Puka Nakua is the dude. Basically took over for Cooper Kupp, and he's going to be the main target of Stafford. But Davante Adams is a great target too. For them playing off of each other, Davante Adams probably going to get single coverage, or at different times maybe they'll watch him and get Puka. Who do you think's going to have more yardage on this season? Who's going to have a bigger season statistic wise on this season? Davante Adams or Puka Nakua? And for us, it don't matter. Everybody can eat, but we would love to see both of them push each other, and that's probably what's going to happen. Robert McClendon says, TJ Watt to the Rams. I saw that. He just might be kind of expensive. And, we got Chris Paul Jr., we got Omar Spates, another year under his belt. We got the new guy. I always forget his name. Hold on. The undrafted guy. Hold on. That just means that they're more athletic. These are the most athletic linebackers we've had all day. Sean Dolick. Now they have to show that they can do it at this level, that they're going to for sure be on the team, of course. But remember, we came from Roseboom and guys like that, and Reader. And they tried hard, and they were Rams, and we were with them. We always back our guys, but these guys with Omar Spates there and Chris Paul Jr., we got more athleticism on the linebacking core, and they're cheap because they're young guys. So, but TJ Watt would add a huge element. We will have to see about that one. Jack 42 says, Rudy. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing good on this Sunday afternoon. On a Sunday afternoon. Where's my clip? Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Where are you at? Where are you? There you go.
Rudy.
And I'm a USC fan, so but I love that movie. Jock 42 says it's the Verse era. I can see that too, man. Now we're gonna get into some clips with Jared Verse, man, but the dude is just charismatic, and he's got to keep it up. It was a hell of a 1 year. Right? I agree with you that he is one of the faces on the defense. He's the face of the defense. And then respectfully, the leader of the defense is Kobe Turner, the elder statesman who's great too. But Jared Verse is a little more charismatic in his own way, although Kobe Turner is very talented. He can sing, can do all kinds of things. He's a great player on the inside. He's charismatic too, but the way, Jared Verse is, he's outspoken. He's like hi baby. My granddaughter just walked by. But I love the guy. Let me roll you a clip real quick. Before that, let me show you a graphic of how bad a bad man this dude is, man. Let me get here right quick. So, defensive rookie of the year. Okay, Aaron Donald won it, and then there's the other one, Jared Verse. Now it sucks because our guy Kobe Turner, it was stolen. You know, we were hoodwinked, we were bamboozled. Will Anderson Jr. from the Texans, they gave it to him, even though Kobe Turner had better stats than him across the board. If you would just go by stats, he tied the rookie Rams record with 9 sacks in a season. And he didn't get the D-Roy, so it should be our second D-Roy in a row. But yeah, so I showed you that picture to show you this. This dude is a bad man, and we already know that. But let me just show you here. So here's just one graphic. Look at that there. 70s most pressures generated by a rookie. 77. Look at the other names on there underneath him. Micah Parsons, 67. Will Anderson, 59. Chop Robinson, Aiden Hutchinson, 53. Byron Young, 50. Braden Frisk. And Braden Frisk was in a running too for the D-Roy, but he was always a step behind Jared Verse. Jalen Carter, 49. And but a lot of times that some of those numbers have to be with them just not playing as much. But the man's a bad man, brother. And so the other number 2 is this. Check this out, okay? And again, this is a rookie. He's got to keep doing it, right? But he looks like he's just going to get better because, he's just barely learning what he can do. Look at this here. There's the Ram record, dang it. Jalen Carter on those last 2 plays was able to break through and get in the way of Stafford. Tackles 30, Jalen Carter. Jared Verse 41. Sacks 5. Jared Verse 6. Pressures 53, Jared Verse 77. PFF grade 74, Jared Verse 86. And let me get my graphic out of the way. Hold on. And then 1 Pro Bowl, and then the bottom one, you can't see it, but that's Super Bowls, and that's what we want. We'd rather have a Super Bowl than any kind of stats, but let me get this out of the way. The bottom is Super Bowl, so that's to be determined. Hopefully by the time Jared Verse retires, he's going to have at least 1, hopefully this year, but hopefully 2 or 3. But we'll take 1 for right now. But look at that, man. This dude here. And to go a step further, hold on, let me set this up for you guys. When I think about Jared Verse there with Kobe Turner and the guys and Byron Young and Brandon Fisk. And remember, Brandon Fisk didn't finish the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe he would have hit Hurts and made him fumble, or but guys have to be available, and you can only go by if you're on the field. But check this out, man. The guy is just extraordinarily strong, Aaron Donald-esque. And he has the balls to match. Basically, you guys saw that when I brought up my live and on social media how he challenged the GOAT to a workout session. But check this clip up. I got a few clips, but check this first one. Eyes on the screen. Check this out, man.
Man inside here, take the blocker off his looping linebacker Byron Young, and then it creates a straight path through. And you don't think that felt good for Jared Verse after a little bit of the.
Now, what that is that's a failure to communicate on the ego side. The other thing too is that's handed down all the way back from the days of the fearsome foursome, all the way through the Jack Youngbloods, the Jim Youngbloods, the Hacksaw Reynolds, the Rams smashing through offensive lines. Remember Sean Gilbert back in the day, number 90, Kevin the Hoekster Green, on and on and on. Gary Jeter, Ray Agnew, Kevin Carter. That's been handed. That's a Ram. When you think about the Rams, they're always going to have iconic defensive players on the defensive line and on the edges. And that's what that is right there. That's big man stuff. That's the big ram horn stuff. That's the big ram horn part of it. Are you a ram? Yeah, I'm a bighorn ram. But yeah, man, this dude here. Here's another clip too, just to finish that point off, man. The guy's amazing. Here we go. Hold on. I don't think there's any sound. That's okay. We can see it. We can just look at him. See ya. And this is after he was talking Smith in Philadelphia. I was talking smack to Philadelphia and the Eagle fans, and they respect him after the game. And then there's the big one. Woo! That Nacho Libre play where he's flying up and his hands are in the air. I didn't realize that this didn't have any sound, but that's okay. We can see it. We can see it. Here he goes. Here he goes. Where's the monster? There he is. Holy smokes. Look at that defensive line crushing him. I got Hoyt. We're going to miss Hoyt. But Puna Ford is going to do his thing. There he is on the corner. Look how far wide he goes because he has so much room to go inside or out. Darnold's going to see a lot of that, boy. He's going to see a lot of that. And there it is, Kobe Turner, the maestro. But yeah, man, I'm so stoked with this team, man. The defensive line, athletic, young linebackers, fearless. It's going to be something. It's going to be something else, man. It's going to be something else. Burrow Stover says, what's happening with Kyrie Williams? What's up, brother? Let's go Rams. Ready for the season. Yes, indeed. Kyrie Williams is in a contract year. It's a big year for him. See if we're going to keep him and get him paid. It's going to be a big year for him. We'll see what happens with him. But other than that, I haven't heard anything else that I haven't heard if he's banged up or anything. If that's what you mean, he's ready to roll, baby. He's ready to roll. He does feel bad though that he fumbled in that game. I could just tell you that too. As bad as we feel, like, no, really? He feels bad that he fumbled in that game against the Eagles. Oh, Sean Dolick. Let's see. Hold on. Sean Dolick. Sean Dolick is Hold on. There it is. Here we go. Played college football for the Buffalo Bills. Linebacker, 6 foot, 220. Drafted last year. Consensus All-American 2024. MAC Defensive Player of the Year 2024. 2-time first team All-MAC 2022, 2024. 6.5 sacks last year, 4.2 in 4.5 sacks 2005, 168 tackles last year, 147 tackles in 2022. 2023 looks like he was hurt. Let's see. The University of Buffalo. It's weird how it just says Buffalo Bills at first. So, the guy's good. If you look at film on him on YouTube, just put in his name. The guy's pretty athletic, and especially compared to what we've had in the past. So that's going to be a really nice, refreshing change when it comes to linebacking core. We used to be known for great linebackers. That's the thing that's frustrating, Hacksaw Reynolds, Jim Youngblood, London Fletcher, who should be a Hall of Famer, Shane Collin back in the day. Remember, we got Shane Collin from the Bills back in the day. Mike Wilcher, James Laurinaitis, the Animal, the son of the Animal. Ernest Jones was supposed to be the next heir apparent, and he was pretty decent. He was coming along, and they just Didn't see eye to eye. David Cronin, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you. I haven't got in touch with you. I wanted to talk to you about something outside, but I will. I'm sorry, just been really busy. But thank you for coming in. Appreciate you, brother. Steve says, bang. GB Shadow, what's up, Ramley? What's up, Rudy? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We're all excited for this season. Appreciate you, my guy, GP Shadow. Let's see. Let me switch this up here. There we go. All right. So, let's see. Oh, there's one thing I want to bring to your attention. So this is not Rams football, but I want to give a shout out with all the political crap going on and whatever your opinions are. It's fine if you don't agree with me. You know, we're all human beings. But with all the pain that's been going on in Southern California with the Hispanic community, aka Mexican immigrants, I'm Mexican American and I'm proud of my heritage, and I'm also proud of my country, United States. My grandfather fought in the Korean War, and so did they were drafted in the Korean War, and both of his brothers were too. But the Gold Cup was going on, and with all the stuff going on, it's kind of fitting that Mexico beat the United States to win the Gold Cup. With all the stuff going on, they're able to come through on American soil and win that. And so my hat is off to them, as a United States citizen, born here and raised. It sucks for the United States, but also too with everything's going on, and because of my heritage and my grandparents, props to Mexico for doing what they had to do. They are Gold Cup champions, so props to them. Now there was some. If you ask Pat McAfee, and I go, sorry, Pat, he was talking about the handball. I'll show you right now, and I go, well, Mexico usually beats the United States, and it is true in soccer. They don't always beat. You can never say always, but they do usually beat the United States when it comes to soccer, whether it's Gold Cup or whatever, or a lot of times. Let's just say it that way. But here's the play that the handball. I'm not very great on the rules. I don't really watch soccer. But here's the controversial play that has fans of the United States soccer team up in arms. Here we go.
Great work from Austin, by the way, going past Sanchez.
It's not a handball. He has his hand on it. Hey man, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And then if you're both, then there you go. But yeah, so that's unfortunate because the teams are going hard. I don't know what play they would have called. I don't know if they scored. I didn't watch it. I just saw the controversial play, so I'm bringing it to you. But yeah, it's just that I just wanted to bring that to you. Has nothing to do with the Rams or LA teams, but that was a pretty big thing with everything that's going on in the world right now. But okay, so we're off of that now. Let's see. You guys will appreciate this. Where's my guy? I want to wish. Let's see. Hold on. I thought I set this little picture up. Hold on. I'm going to set it up right now. You guys saw my Rams community post. You guys see my post on the Rams community post, but hold on, let me get this right here real quick. There it is. Let me just get this here. Almost there. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so I want to wish a happy birthday to a Rams legend, aka Hunter. Fred Dryer, the great Fred Dryer. happy birthday, brother. God bless you. The great Fred Dreyer. And, amazing player. And he's one of the guys that says, that one of those old school Rams, you see the helmet. See the helmet right there. See that full ram horn. Willie Bowen, my guy Willie Bowen. See that full ram horn. He's one of the guys that says, the Rams messed that helmet up in so many words. He didn't say messed it up. He says a few expletives. That it should be that full ram horn that we're proud of. That's like the Dallas Cowboys changing the star. Except the Rams horn is more iconic because the Rams were the first NFL franchise to have emblems on their leather helmets when the Rams player painted them on there, and then everybody goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Instead of just plain brown helmets, it's an emblem. So, but yeah, so let's without any further ado, let's get a clip of our guy, Rams legend. And we're going to start going into the season goes of legend of the night, certain days of the week. The Rams legend of today's afternoon night session is the great Fred Dreyer. And let me just cue this up here. Take it away in a second. Freddie was the Freddy Krueger of many quarterbacks' nightmares back in the day. Here we go. Check this out. Eyes on the screen.
Was an but the
Hold on. I'm going to let it catch up because on my side, it's choppy. So hold on. Okay, here we go. So let me just cue this up. Here we go. Now, eyes on the screen.
But the real story of this game was an all-out assault by number 89, Fred Dreyer. The defensive end set an NFL one-game record by sacking Green Bay quarterbacks twice for safeties. Dreyer's 4 points capped the win, 24-7. The Rams' win streak had been a proving ground.
Look at those full horn helmets, baby. There it is. There it is. There it is. Love it. Love it. Love it. My guy Willie Bowen, OG Willie Bowen says, I'm excited for the LA Rams season. Me too, man. Me too. Yes, indeed. Willie Bowen says, Rick Hunter Dreyer. Yes, indeed. Hunter. Nice uniforms. Yeah, man. Those are some of the most classic uniforms of all time, man. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. We haven't got any information about the new division rival. They're called division rival uniforms. They're supposed to be giving us. So all we know is that they're called division rival uniforms. And, that's all we know. We don't know anything more than that. And so, hopefully Nike will hurry up, and give them to us. So I want to get you guys' opinion on this now is, let me see. Where'd you guys go? Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. They posted, some of the all-time great, quarterbacks of all time. They had them like in a tier, right? And it's always, somebody's opinion. Some of them are slam dunks. Like, yeah, of course, that guy's this or this guy's that, right? And but there's always somebody that they miss, right? And let me see if I can cue this up here. There's always somebody that they miss. Hold on. And I'm going to show you two guys, of course, at the Rams that they miss. And I hope everyone had a great 4th of July, by the way, too. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. And hold on. Let me set this up. All right, there we go. Here we go. Now we're rolling. So here we go. Perfect. Get out of here. Here we go. So of course I had to interject, and because what happened was our guy Rombo, and in case you didn't know, he's a Niner content creator, and we go back and forth because I'm a Ram content creator, a Ram fan. He's a Niner fan and Ram fan. So he posted something, and this is the post that he showed me, talking, bragging because Joe Montana's on one of the top tiers of quarterbacks. And so here he goes, and he's right. Joe Montana is one of the great quarterbacks of all time. So here's the list, the hierarchy of quarterbacks. Right, you got Joe Montana, Brady on tier 1, and Archie Manning. Okay, not bad. By the way, Joe Montana, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and you have to appreciate him, was the only team to have been shut out by the Rams his whole career. The Rams were the only team to have shut him out his whole career. Again, when he was with the Chiefs, 16-0. They kept going for it on 4th down, disrespecting the Rams defense, and they shut him out with Marcus Allen in tow next to him in Kansas City. And the Rams were the one team that beat him more than any team as a 49er, with the 49er wearing the 49er jersey. Then tier 2 you have, and I don't know about this one. Drew Brees is tier 2. Johnny Unitas, Dan Marino. And then tier 3, Favre, Staubach, Elway. There's Staubach's at the end. Number 14 there. I can't remember who that is. If you guys have it in the chat. Tier 4, because I can't tell by the picture. Warner, Terry Bradshaw, Bob Starr. Our guy Aaron Rodgers, the diva, Stephen Young, and then Kelly to round it out. Let's see, is that Frank Van Tarkenton, Russell Wilson, Aikman is on the bottom, Warren Moon, okay, and let's see, who's this? There's Big Ben, okay. So he was talking about that, and so whatever. So when Stafford hangs him up, he'll be in there somewhere. A Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks. He's already close to the top 10 or in the top 10 in many categories. So I had to interject, and I said, well, that's a good list, but they're missing a couple of players, and Matthew Stafford will be there very soon. So one of the players that he's missing, that they missed there, and I had to point out to him, of course. And I also put, by the way, that I don't think Brock Purdy will ever make that list either, by the way. At least the Rams are waiting for Matthew Stafford. Hold on, what happened to my picture? What are you doing? Oh, jeez. Hold on. There we go. So here's one guy, Norm Van Brocklin. 2-time NFL champion, 51 and 60. Okay. The Dutchman. NFL Most Valuable Player, 1960. First-time All-Pro. 3-time second-team All-Pro. 9-time Pro Bowler. NFL Pass Yard Leader, 54. NFL Completion Percentage Leader, 1952. There's one guy. So he should be there too, right? Now, over Russell Wilson, most likely, or whoever, right? It doesn't really matter. They're all great quarterbacks. Now, the other guy famously was married to somebody named Rita Hayworth. And let me see if this will load this time. Hold on. Let me bring it over here then. This is acting up. StreamYard. Oh, come on, StreamYard. Jeez. Hold on. Let me make room for it. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Are you kidding me? Come on. Jeez, hold on, darn it. Let me get back in here. Hold on. StreamYard. I can see the picture that I'm trying to load, and it says there's a problem with your file. Hold on. StreamYard. Let's resave it. Okay, let's see if this works now. Sheesh. Let's see. Here we go. All right, hold on. Let's see if it lets me do it this way. Jeez, hold on. This is so annoying. StreamYard, you know what? Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. All right. So anyway, while I do this, I'm going to still talk to you. So sorry about that. So we have Bob Waterfield, champion, deserves to be there. So there's another guy that's not listed, and most likely Rambo's just ignoring that guy. So hold on. The other guy that I'm looking for and trying to put up here is that's Norm Van Brocklin, the Dutchman. The other guy that I'm trying to bring up here is Bob Waterfield, who was famously married to Rita Hayworth. And let me see if I can get this to show. Let me switch up the okay, and let's do it as let's see if it lets me show it now. This is so ridiculous. Let's see if this one works. There it is. Jeez. Look at it. It's a black and white photo, and it didn't want it. So anyway, StreamYard. Okay, so here we go. Two-time NFL champion. NFL Most Valuable Player 1945 with the Cleveland Rams. Three-time first All-American All-Pro. Second-team All-Pro. 2 Pro Bowls. 50 and 51. By the way, those 50 and 51 Rams. 1951, that's the Los Angeles Rams championship team. Average over 30 points. One of the first teams to score 500 points in back-to-back seasons. One of the Crazy Leg Hurst and all those guys. Two-time NFL touchdown passing leader, 45 and 46. NFL completion leader, 1945. Bob Waterfield. And so those are two more guys, okay? Two more guys. Bob Waterfield and Norm Van Brocklin, the Dutchman. And both are Rams. And then later on, the Dutchman played and won a championship again too with the Philadelphia Eagles. So an all-time great player is not even there. So they both should be there, both of them. So there you go on that list. So I just wanted to bring that to you because and then Matthew Stafford will join his place. And unfortunately, Jim Everett didn't play with enough great teams, and a lot of the guys retired. The woman who shall be nameless will move the team to St. Louis, and but yep. My guy Willie Bowen says that's what the LA Rams uniform should look like. 73 to the 80s, love it. The royal blue and mustard yellow. Shaq Purdy says Rumba wears a tiny gear under his Purdy jersey. Willie Bowen says Bob Waterfield, former husband of Jane. There you go. Sorry, Jane Russell. Thank you, my guy OG Willie Bowen for correcting me. That's what I meant, Jane Russell. She was, that's what I meant. I got her confused with Jane Russell. Jane Russell was a starlet in old Hollywood, beautiful, gorgeous. Yes, I always have Rita Hayworth on my mind when I'm thinking, but Jane Russell, yes, one of the iconic starlets, and he was married to her. So yes, indeed, amazing. So there's that. I just wanted to bring that to you because there's little things that show up, and I'm like, don't disrespect our team like that. Let's see. So there's another thing. So now we're going to come full circle, and we're going to talk about Matthew Stafford. So Matthew Stafford at age 37, they're saying, well, if he wins another Super Bowl, is he going to be a Hall of Famer, or is the door pushed open for him for a Hall of Fame bid? Is he a first ballot Hall of Fame if he wins in the Super Bowl? I believe so, but I also believe he's a Hall of Famer as we speak. These are the guys that did stuff at age 37. Brett Favre, 18 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, missed playoffs. Manning, 2013, 55 touchdowns. Wow. But lost the Super Bowl. That sucks. But imagine throwing 55 touchdowns and lost the Super Bowl. Brady, 33 touchdowns. This is where he was tough because the low interceptions ratio. 9 interceptions, lost divisional round. Breeze, 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Okay, not bad. Lost divisional round to us. Wait, no, that's the championship game. Never mind. Manning, 21 touchdowns, 11. This is when he was no longer the Manning we knew as much, but missed playoffs, 5 and 11. And then Rodgers, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, lost NFC championship game, and I believe that was to the Niners, and where he was horrible, and it was even in the snow. I think that's the game, and he lost to Jimmy Garoppolo. And I don't even know if they even scored a touchdown that game. I think they blocked a field goal. So Matthew Stafford could very, very well have a Super Bowl ring this year. So I just wanted to bring you some information of what other guys have done at this age. And then I say that to say this is congratulations to Matthew Stafford's best buddy and World Series champion and Dodger legend Clayton Kershaw for reaching 3,000 strikeouts. They've been like best friends, like brothers since grade school. And, there he is right there. And there's Kershaw with the Rams hat. He's wore Rams shirt before. And there's Matthew Stafford, world champion, Los Angeles. 2 champions right there, LA champions, with a Dodger jersey, Kershaw's jersey. And I bring this up to come around full circle again, because Rich Eisen believes that, and as I do, that Matthew Stafford is already a Super Bowl champion. And so let me bring this to you here. And then Chris, who's a Ram fan, I like him, one of the guys on his show. I'm like, dude, you're tripping. It's okay not to agree with me, but I'm like, dude, you're tripping. He's saying that he hasn't done enough yet, and it's not Matthew Stafford's fault that he played all those years with Detroit. Matthew Stafford is the the maestro quarterback that's had the 2 greatest wide receiver seasons in the NFL history. In Megatron's year, Matthew Stafford was quarterback. In Cooper Kupp's year, Matthew Stafford was a quarterback. Matthew Stafford had the orchestrator and maestro of Puka Nakua's record-breaking all-time rookie wide receiver record. Matthew Stafford's a quarterback. Matthew Stafford, to me, cemented his Hall of Fame status in the first year with the Rams organization, winning the Super Bowl, but also the way he came back and the no-look pass on the game-winning drive cemented, in my opinion, his Hall of Fame status. But let me bring you Rich Eisen. Eyes on the screen. Let me set this up. Okay, here we go. Almost there. Let me get rid of this one. Here we go.
With Clayton Kershaw's 3,000th strikeout. to the latest edition of our conversation about who wants to be a Hall of Famer. Is this person, if they do not play another game, another snap, another moment, are they a Hall of Famer? You know, and Clayton Kershaw's big moment makes me wonder about the guy, if you will, he went to high school with. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Wait, what? Hold on. What?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Who? He went to high school with Matthew Stafford.
No, wait, stop.
Who did?
Clayton Kershaw did?
Yeah, he did.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And they both play in Los Angeles
So
now?
if you're
How am I just now finding this out?
you might, if you're wondering if Clayton Kershaw is in fact a Hall of Famer.
I would say that should be the shortest discussion in the room.
No. If the one thing that could put him over the top is if Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
Double dip.
So in honor of the fact that you may not have known that Clayton Kershaw
you learn something new every day, TJ.
went to high school, same high school
Mind blown.
as Matthew Stafford. Is it true that Clayton Kershaw was Stafford's center in high school?
Oh, that I didn't
Something
know.
along the lines of that?
It was something like that.
That'd be as crazy as
'Cause,
Stafford
it's
being
kinda-
Kershaw's catcher. Or
You know,
something
and
like
again, it's in the same realm of you might not have known Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard.
that. No, we didn't.
Look it up. Google it.
Hold on.
But with Clayton Kershaw on the cusp of being a Hall of Famer, the one thing that could put him over is if Matthew Stafford takes down the crown in this rendition of Who Wants to Be a Hall of Famer.
Who wants to be a Hall of Famer?
Is that your final answer?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
In honor of Clayton Kershaw coming up with a milestone moment, his high school friend, Matthew Stafford, is our latest contestant on Who Wants to Be a Hall of Famer. 37 years old. If Matthew Stafford never played another snap, if he had decided this past offseason, we're done. We're done. Not going East Coast, and I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play with Puka Nakua and Davante Adams for Sean McVay in Southern California and keep my kids here looking at the Pacific Ocean sunset. Just as a for instance. All right. 222 games played. His 5,174 completions, ninth all-time above Dan Marino. If he has a 191-yard passing game in the Rams home opener against the Houston Texans, if he throws for 191 yards in that week one game, he will have 60,000 passing yards. He's 10th all-time in that regard, ahead of folks named Elway in Montana. His completion percentage of 63.4% is 34th all-time. He has 377 career passing touchdowns. That's 10th all-time, ahead of people named Elway, Moon, Bradshaw, to say a few. His passer rating of 91.2 is tied for 27th all-time, ahead of folks named Marino, Favre, and Aikman. You want to use QBR for our friends at ESPN?
Sure.
His single season QBR of 71.3 is tied for 60th all time with Big Ben, ahead of folks named Rodgers, Ryan, Tom Brady. He is a Super Bowl champion, a two-time Pro Bowler. That's twice. Second fastest quarterback in the history of the NFL to 20 and 30,000 career yards. The only one faster is named Mahomes. He is the fastest to 40,000 and 45,000 career passing yards. We'll see if Mahomes takes him out on those regards one day. His 727 passing attempts in 2012, second most all-time behind a guy named Brady. One of 9 quarterbacks to throw for 5,000 yards in a single season. He had 5,038 in 2011. He is the Lions' all-time leader in completion, passing yards, and touchdowns. And we all know one last accolade. 2 Triple Crown receivers, Calvin Johnson in 2012, Cooper Kupp in 2021, had the same triggerman named Matthew Stafford. Is he a Pro Football Hall of Famer? TJ Jefferson, I'll send it to you first.
All right. In addition to all those stats, he has more passing yards and touchdowns than all but 3 current Hall of Famers, right? He's also been pretty successful in the playoffs. He has 103 103 career passing rating in the playoffs. That's 4th best in history. He's got that championship. Brockman, about 4 years ago, you were sitting there, you and I were off camera talking about Matt Stafford, and you were like, look at his passing numbers. You're like, if he continues to do this, he's going to get to 70,000. I think based on all of these stats and the Super Bowl, he's not a first ballot. He's probably not a second ballot, but he will get into the Hall of Fame.
Chris?
If his career ended right now,
that is correct.
I love Matthew Stafford. I love watching him play.
Careful.
He was Sarah's voicemail for a long time.
Yeah, you might be sleeping
You've
on the
reached
couch.
Sarah and Matthew Stafford. If he never played again, he does not get in.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
All of these stats and all the numbers, you can make the case that he is a compiler. Did it on bad teams who were losing most of the games. So, yeah, they got to throw, and he accumulated a great numbers. He has exactly one nice accolade as a quarterback, and it was a Comeback Player of the Year award in his 3rd season. He's only made 2 Pro Bowls in 16 years. He's never sniffed an MVP. He's never sniffed an Offensive Player of the Year award. And I hate saying all this, but I'm just pointing out the facts. He's got 1 Super Bowl win. That's great. But 1 Super Bowl win doesn't get you in. We've seen that 2 doesn't get you in a couple of cases. I just don't think he's got it.
I will push back and say this is a no-brainer.
You can't push back on facts.
I'm pushing back on your facts as the determining factor.
I mean, we also gave facts.
I don't know, man.
You compiler, you can't control who's drafting you. Now, could you control if you stayed with him? And he wanted to restore the roar there. And, you know, the fact that he was a Lion this whole time, and he has better stats than Marino, and he's got a ring. How does that not?
Marino has 3 first-team All-Pros. Marino was an MVP. Marino has 8 Pro Bowls.
And what do we hold against Dan Marino? He didn't win the Super Bowl.
So there it is. It's a debate that's been on through time. Okay. So I like Chris, the ball-headed dude. He's actually a Ram fan. The compiler statement just rolled my eyes. Okay, let's look at this way. He has right to his opinion. Rich Eisen is right on the money here. It's not Matthew Stafford's fault that he was drafted by the Detroit Lions. Now, if you put Dan Marino on those Lion teams, there'll be a similar situation. Dan Marino was with the Dolphins, and they had the Mark Claytons and all those great players, and we do understand that the Miami Dolphin organization has been better than the Detroit Lions. So I don't know where why he's doing that, but anyway, he is right that Dan Marino is one of the great all-time quarterbacks, but he never won a ring. He beat the '85 Bears, and he couldn't beat the Niners in the championship in the Super Bowl. But to me, trying to win with a bad organization like the Lions at that time, this organization that they have grown into, they got the Rams, one of the Rams guys. I can't remember. Is it Audrey Pleasant? No, I can't remember his name. Helping to build that team. They got a bunch of talent. They're really great, but they still have not yet been able to win a Super Bowl. They got a former Rams QB. They're a much better organization than they used to be when Matthew Stafford was there. You can't. That's like, if Steve Young never left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then he goes to the Niners. Well, let's say he didn't leave as soon as he did, and then spent most of his career there, and then in his last few years went to the Niners and was able to win a Super Bowl like he did. Is he still a Hall of Famer? Yes. The other thing too is Pro Bowls. We know that Pro Bowls are like a popularity contest sometimes, and nowadays, if you're the Detroit Lions and there's other teams that are winning in the playoffs, you're not going to get the nod. Because are you telling me that Matthew Stafford's not a Pro Bowl worthy quarterback? I mean, what are we saying here? So same thing with London Fletcher, Henry Ellard, on and on and on. A lot of guys get snubbed. But for me, Matthew Stafford, one of the greatest talents, the arm talents of all time, the no-look pass in the Super Bowl, the two greatest wide receiver seasons in NFL history with Megatron and Cooper Kupp, and then the greatest rookie record with Puka Nakua, all had the quarterback of Matthew Stafford. So the debate will rage on. Whether he gets in the first ballot will probably determine if he does win another Super Bowl. But Matthew Stafford's an amazing quarterback. So I just wanted to bring that to you. And props to Chris, but I don't agree with him. Stats compiler. Oh, man. But anyway, I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you guys for coming in. I just wanted to bring that to you. We'll have more information for you as it comes down the pike. Love each and one of you guys. Hope everyone has a great rest of your Sunday evening. As we always say, may the Remelia be with you. And Remulators, mount up. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night, 7:05. Talk to you guys soon.